The Carolina Panthers enter the 2021 season as one of the most slept-on teams in the NFL. Head coach Matt Rule and company have transformed arguably the worst roster in the league last year to a team that may just sneak up on some people. With a healthy Christian McCaffrey and the acquisition of Sam Darnold, Carolina is one of the most intriguing stories of the season. All right, so the Panthers finished 5-11 last season for the second straight year. They were 2-6 at home, 3-5 on the road, 1-5 within the division. Offensively, they ranked 21st with 349.5 yards per game. And defensively, they were 18th, giving up 360.1. The big story of the offseason was quarterback Sam Darnold, who came to the New York Jets 3 years ago with high hopes. Now he has come to Carolina with those same dreams. The prevailing narrative around Darnold's ill-fated 3 seasons with the Jets was that he had little support, skill position players who didn't scare opposing defenses, and linemen who could not protect him. And as often is the case, some of that was true and some of that was false. However, Darnold has another chance to rewrite history. In the 2021 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers selected J.C. Horn with the 8th overall pick, a cornerback out of South Carolina. In round 2, they drafted a wide receiver out of LSU, Terrace Marshall Jr. In round 3, they drafted Brady Christensen, an offensive tackle from BYU. And in round 4, they drafted Chuba Hubbard, a running back out of Oklahoma State. When free agency arrived, the Panthers' biggest needs were along the offensive line. Carolina forked out a ton of money to Pat Elflein and Cameron Fleming, who are both low-level starters. The Panthers continued their defensive makeover by signing Hassan Reddick, AJ Bouya, Denzel Perryman, and Daquan Jones. On the offensive side of the ball, Curtis Samuel rejoined Ron Rivera in Washington, and running back Mike Davis signed with division rival Falcons. Their strength of schedule ranks 26th. There is a lot of winnable games early on for Carolina. Some of their notable matchups come week 4 at Dallas, week 10 at Arizona, and week 15 at Buffalo. When looking at key players, Carolina will go as far as quarterback Sam Darnold, and there is a belief that the former number 3 overall pick in the 2018 draft never had the best chance to show off his skills with Jets, and maybe, just maybe, a change of scenery is just what the doctor ordered. Darnold's near 1-to-1 TD to interception ratio in New York will have to be significantly improved as offensive coordinator Joe Brady looks to resurrect Darnold's career. Let's talk Christian McCaffrey. When healthy, he may just be the best running back in the NFL and will need to touch the ball 20 to 25 times per game. He scored 6 touchdowns last season in only 3 games and is a fantasy football stud. But McCaffrey missed the other 13 games in 2020 with a variety of injuries and will be intent on showing durability this season. Wide receiver Robbie Anderson was a favorite target for Darnold early in the quarterback's Jet career, and the QB will be glad to be reunited with Anderson and see him streaking down the sideline. Both Anderson and run after the catch specialist DJ Moore had 1,000-yard receiving seasons for the Panthers in 2020, and together they form one of the most underrated starting wide receiver pairs in the NFL. Carolina hopes their newest defensive standout will be press cornerback J.C. Horn, the number 8 overall pick of the 2021 draft and son of former 12-year NFL wide receiver Joe Horn. He's likely slated to start from day 1 opposite the speedy Dante Jackson at corner. I don't even know what position Jeremy Chin played last season. The hybrid linebacker / safety finished second to Washington's Chase Young in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. Chin scored 2 defensive scoop and score touchdowns only 10 seconds apart in his most memorable game as a rookie, and will be used more often as a safety this season as the Panthers try to keep the wear and tear on one of their best players to a more manageable level. But my favorite player on the defensive side of the ball is end Brian Burns, or as you may know him, Mr. Spider-Man. He is a standout edge rusher. He had 16.5 total sacks in his first 2 seasons. Burns is a total stud and should be helped in his sack quest this season by the addition of edge rusher Hassan Reddick, who had 12.5 sacks for Arizona in 2020. And finally, for my projections, the Panthers' success is on the shoulders of Darnold and the health of Christian McCaffrey. The coaching staff is quietly becoming one of the best in the league, with Rule Brady and Phil Snow. Carolina is one of the youngest teams in the NFL, and there's plenty of reason to be excited if you're a Panther fan. I underestimated this team before fully diving into this video. There is young talent sprinkled all across the defense, and if the offense starts clicking, this team may just surprise some people. I hope I'm wrong because this roster and team is easy to root for, but I've gone 7-10. I just don't think Sam Darnold is the answer, and the offensive line outside of Taylor Motton and Matt Paredes scare the hell out of me. And who is going to play free safety?